all have these types of hidden identities that they can't fully embrace for different reasons, whether it be cultural or institutional. There is a way that institutions take up space and impose these sort of rigid expectations of who a person needs to or should be in order to be welcomed into that space. And I think it's important for people to question these spaces and to ask questions about everything, you know? What does being a professional look like in like the standard societal terms, and why is that? Why do I have to conform to my gender when I'm dressing professionally, you know? Why can't I wear certain things? Like, where did that stem from? And I feel like a lot of it is like respectability politics, and a lot of it kind of privileges, and it benefits like heterosexual white men, because they're the ones making the rules for these spaces. These pink trees, and this person brought it to my attention that like this pink tree comes from Japan. I don't know how true that is, but I think that it's possible for plants to be brought from other places, right?
Right.
And that's very imperial, to go to another place, to another like land, and to take things from it and bring it back, to try to emulate that particular piece of it that you like, but to condemn that place and its people.
Right.
When we're talking about like the understanding of cultures and the ways that we kind of, we being people, like take what they like and leave what they don't like, or demonize what they don't like. I think cultural appropriation is kind of similar to the idea of cosmetic diversity, in which you are taking the pieces that you want, and in this case, in the university's case, for kind of like a capital gain, for monetary gain, and then you're like leaving the rest, which I think translates to the students' actual needs and their experiences. Because let's be real, like students of color are having experiences that differ from others, you know, whether it be working more jobs, or what they experience in the family home, or just things like mental health. I mean, there's so much to unpack there. We think of progress as like this linear thing, but these historical like omissions, they keep coming up and up again, over and over again, and you kind of wonder like, wow, this is the same issue that people face like not only decades ago but centuries ago, and what's got to change? What's got to get things to change? You know, I remember sitting on the bus, and this was before February, because that's when the Milo protest happened, and thinking to myself, you know what, I'm happy here at Rutgers. Like, I was on the bus, just like looking around. Most people are, you know, doing their own thing. They don't really talk to each other, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I had this feeling of like safety, and of kind of like comfort in my skin. And it was only like a couple weeks later that my whole world kind of like, that changed all in an instant. And I was like, yeah, that was the feeling that I had before. It was all a facade, you know. These types of like racist things that people do and say, they were there all along, in the classmates that I sit next to and the people that I walk by on the street. And like I said, I think the word unearthed is like the best way to explain it, because it's like all lifted and kind of spewed at people.